The gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Griffith, is now recognized.
And let's talk about the evidence. If you learned that you're supposed to bring the evidence with you, I submit to my colleague, he should have brought the evidence on the National Guard, because in our prior hearings held by Mr. Loudermilk, we discovered that not only did the president authorize the National Guard in advance of January 6th, but that offer was turned down, and then there was some obstruction on the National Guard getting here because he gave the order for the National Guard to be brought, and the general in charge, according to 4 officers who were with the National Guard that day, with the commander of the Washington, D.C. National Guard, 4 of them testified under oath that the general never transmitted that order for well over 2 hours after the president gave the order. So that's the evidence that's out there, and those are the facts on that. Now, it was made in the prior hearing on this. Somebody said, well, why didn't the president just call directly? And we all know what would happen. I said so at the time. We all know what would happen if the president had done that. They would have said he's not following the chain of command because he's supposed to give the orders to the general, and the general's supposed to give the order to the National Guard. But there was a failure there as well. Now, that's not what we're here about today. We're here about the pipe bombing. And let me say this to my colleague on the other side of the aisle. It took too long to capture the pipe bomber. It took too long. He threw that in his litany of conspiracies. He says it's now a conspiracy, that it took too long to find the pipe bomber. I'm telling you, my friend, it took too long. That's not a conspiracy. That is the evidence and the facts. It took too long to find this individual, and there was sloppy work at the FBI. Now, I'm concerned about our safety because there's sloppy work all around on this thing, and I don't understand why. Because we saw in the previous investigation through the House Admin Subcommittee on Oversight, we saw a video where they bring in the detonation robot, or the robot to take apart or to make sure there's not a problem with one of the pipe bombs, and they didn't secure the area around it. So in the film, you see, and the chairman will agree, he saw it too, you see a pedestrian walking by. All the police are standing back. Here comes a pedestrian walking by where the pipe bomb is. Mr. Paiota, does that make any sense? Why are you allowing pedestrians in the neighborhood where you're about to try to get a robot? You've sent a robot in to detonate, and you don't have the area secured. Does that make any sense to you?
It makes no sense. The safety of the public would be your paramount objective first, to secure the area, clear the area of civilians, make sure that there aren't any unnecessary personnel close to the device.
And it raises the issue, and I don't have any conspiracy theory. I have no idea why, but it raises the question, why? And maybe it was just sloppy work.
I think you're looking at adrenaline, bad training, ineptitude.
All right. If you can do it quickly, because I only got 1 minute and 50 seconds left because I got wound up about the National Guard. But Patel FBI created a red team. What's a red team? And what's the process of setting it up? And who makes the decision to set it up?
Yeah, red team, it's a term of art. It's a review team. He did a case review team. He took people who had certain backgrounds and investigative experience that were consistent with what he was looking to accomplish, put them together, gave them resources, gave them priority, and gave them the charter to take all this information. He removed all obstacles, and he gave them the charter to find out what's going on, look for any investigative gaps. What the boss is interested in gets done. What the boss checks gets done well. And that's what you saw here.
Well, they did that in 2025. Do you think that while the Ray team was focused on something else, and you mentioned that earlier, do you think that by 2024 or 2023, they would have been able to focus and do a red team in the Ray FBI if they had thought that there was a reason to do so, or that they thought that it was important? Because I'm concerned about the safety of people who go to the RNC and the DNC.
The senior leadership did not make it a priority. The resources weren't dedicated. It didn't happen.
So the safety of members of Congress going to their respective political party headquarters was not a priority for the FBI at that time?
Did not appear so.
Thank you very much. I yield back.
The gentleman yields. The gentleman from Louisiana is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to enter the criminal indictment of Mr. Brian J. Cole